Good morning, guys. Today is Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's do our wish well for today. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what a wonderful child you are. With bright eyes and nice round cheeks, a talented person from your head to your feet. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what a wonderful child you are. Okay, our question of the day will be, what part of your body does this protect? Who knows? What part of the body does this protect? Send me your answers. Tell Mama to record you answering these questions. Okay. The mighty minute for today is, you remember when we used to, in the classroom, we'll do our names. We'll say something like, Isabella. How many times did we clap? Yes, you're right. So I want you to have mommy or your sibling to pick some words and clap to it, and you tell them how many syllables was in that word. On another example, okay, let's say music. Music. You want to say center? Center. And you got it. Okay, send me your responses. Okay, now we're going to read the book, The Three Javelinas. What do you think this book is going to be about? Let's see. This book was written by Susan Lowell. Can you say Susan Lowell? And it was illustrated also by Susan Lowell. What do you think about that? How cool is that? All righty, you ready? The Three Javelinas. Way out in the desert, there were three little javelinas. Javelinas are wild, haughty, southwestern cousins of pigs. Their heads are hairy, their backs were hairy, and their bony legs all the way down to their hard little hooves were very hairy. But their snouts were soft and pink. So one day the three little javelinas trotted away to seek their fortunes. In this hot, dry land, the sky was almost always blue. Steep purple mountains looked down on the desert where the cactus forest grew. Soon the little javelinas came to a spot where the path divided and each one went a different way. See, those are the javelinas. You tell me, what does the javelinas look like to you? Okay, let's turn the page. The first little javelina wandered lazily along. He didn't see a dust storm whirling across the desert until it caught him. The whirlwind blew away and left the first little javelina sitting in a heap of tumbleweeds. Brushing himself off, he said, I'll build a house with them. And in no time at all, he did. See? He built him a house out of tumbleweeds. Then along came a coyote. He ran through the desert so quickly and so quietly that he was almost invisible. In fact, this was only one of Coyote's many magical tricks. He laughed when he saw the tumbleweed house and smelled the javelina inside. Mmm, a tender, juicy piggy, he thought. Coyote was tired of eating mice and rabbits. He called out sweetly, little pig, let me come in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, shouted the first javelina, who had a lot of hair on his chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in, said the coyote. See? And he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the little tumbleweed house away. But in all the hullabaloo, the first little javelina escaped and went looking for his brother and sister. Coyote, who was very sneaky, tiptoed along behind them. Let's see what happens next. The second little javelina walked for miles among giant cactus plants called saguaros. They held their ripe red fruit high in the sky, but they made almost no shade, and the little javelina grew hot. Then he came upon a Native American woman who was gathering sticks from inside a dried up cactus. She planned to use these long sticks called saguaro ribs to knock down the sweet cactus fruit. The second little javelina said, please, may I have some sticks to build a house? Yes, in the language of the desert people. She said, Hau. So Hau means what? Yes, in the language of the desert people. So where do you think he's going to build his house up? All right, he's going to build him out of her sticks. So when he was finished building his house, he lay down in the shade. Then his brother arrived panting from the heat. And the second little javelina moved over and made a place for him. Panting, do you know what that means? He was what? Yeah, you're correct. He was tired. Okay. Pretty soon, Coyote found the saguaro rib house. He used his magic to make his voice sound just like a javelina's. Little pig, let me come in, he called. But the little javelinas were suspicious. The second one cried, no, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Bah, thought Coyote, I am not going to eat your hair. The coyote smiled, showing his sharp teeth. I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. So he huffed, and he puffed, and all the saguaro ribs came tumbling down. See? But the two little javelinas escaped the desert. Still not discouraged, Coyote followed. Sometimes his magic did fail, but then he usually came up with another trick. So let's see what his trick gonna be this time. The third little javelina trotted through beautiful Palo Verde trees with green trunks and yellow flowers. She saw a snake slithering by, smooth as off. A hawk floated around and round above her. Then she came to a place where man was making adobe. Can you say that word? Adobe. Adobe bricks from mud and straw. The bricks lay on the ground, baking in the hot sun. The third little javelina thought for a moment and said, "May I please have a few adobes to build a house?" "Sí," answered the man, which means yes in Spanish, the brickmaker's language. If I can get this book to turn, guys, it's sticking. So the third javelina built herself a solid little adobe house, cool in the summer and warm in the winter. When her brothers found her, she welcomed them in and locked the door behind them. Coyote followed their trail. See? Little pig, let me come in," he called. The three little javelinas looked out the window. This time, Coyote pretended to be very old and weak, with no teeth and a sore paw. But they were not fooled. "No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," called the third little javelina. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in," said Coyote. He grinned, thinking of the wild pig dinner to come. "Just try it," shouted the third little javelina. So Coyote huffed and puffed, but the adobe bricks did not budge. Again, Coyote tried. "I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." The three little javelinas covered their hairy ears, but nothing happened. The javelinas peeked out the window. The tip of Coyote's raggedy tail whisked right past their noses. He was climbing up on the tin roof. Next, Coyote used his magic to make himself very skinny. "The stovepipe," gasped the third little javelina. Quickly, she lighted a fire inside her wood stove. "What a feast it will be, Coyote!" Coyote said to himself. He squeezed into the stovepipe. "I think I'll eat them with red hot chili sauce." Whoosh, sizzle. Then the three little javelinas heard an amazing noise. It was not a bang, bark. It was not a crackle. It was not a howl. It was not a scream. It was all those sounds together. Yip, yap, yeep, yow! Away ran a puff of smoke shaped like a coyote. This book stinks so bad. So the three little javelinas lived happily ever after in their adobe house. And if you ever hear Coyote's voice way out in the desert at night, well, you know what he's remembering. The end. Did you like that book? I really love that book. Okay, guys, it's about the end of the video. So I'll see you Monday, and Monday we'll have a new I love you ritual. So be ready. I love you. Miss you. Bye.